Welcome to Happy Hour Holidays, where we cheers to business, entrepreneurship, and life stories. I'm your host every single week, Manny Fresh. We got the resume, Sean Fabre, and in studio today, we have the pleasure, the plum-pleasing pleasure to have Mrs. Princess Fresh up in here, social media influencer. She's songwriter, serial entrepreneur. We are lucky and blessed to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm just so excited to
and
be invited.
world traveler.
A world traveler too.
Yes, I'm so excited.
So now you have a new trip, a trip coming up to Europe for 4 months.
Multiple, yes. So just really quick, here's a timeline. I'm doing all this, stuff now because next month I'm going to Puerto Rico for like 10, 20 days. The month after that, I'm going to Italy and France. And then the month after that, I'm going to Dominican Republic, going back home. Oh. And then I think I'm going back to Thailand. I don't know. There's so much going on in my life right now. Yeah. And in the middle of all this, I'm running businesses and working on my EP.
So are you doing this for content creation purposes only?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes and no. So I'm going because I went to Thailand with a friend in November. And she was one of those like, you know how people just say, hey, let's do it. Yeah. And then they never hit you up again to do it. I love those people because like, if you don't follow up with me, I'm okay. I'll be chilling in my bed. But she's like, yeah, let's go. I want to go to Thailand. And I'm thinking she's one of those flops. And all of a sudden she's like, yeah, I just booked my ticket. Did you book yours? I'm like, girl, you're serious. Okay. So I did. And then panicked the whole time, a whole way there because I've never done anything like that. And it was the best experience of my life, like eat, love, pray type thing. And then from there, that was in November. From there, something in just my mind was just like, we're always waiting. Like, I want to wait until this to go here. Yeah. Or I want to wait till this to go to do this. And then being in that position, like, why wait? You know what I mean? Like, because again, nothing is promised. You choose the life you live, So just book that flight, go enjoy that time. So now that is, what I've been focusing on and getting excited for. So I've just been booking back to back. But as for content, I'm making the content pay for my trips.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the whole goal behind it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And do you find it like it's difficult when you're going to these different areas that maybe the Wi-Fi signal may be spotty or maybe internet connections, or do you just go straight to cafes? Are you editing your own content?
I am editing my own content. Yeah. I am looking for a video editor if anybody, wants to. I have 49,500 images that you need to go through, just saying. But no, so yeah, I'm editing everything. And what I've noticed when I do travel, the first thing you do is you call your cell phone provider, like right when you land. And a lot of them have plans for, for like international calling and stuff like that since, again, 2025, who's not traveling at this point,
Yeah. So, all right. So then you're doing that, but also you have a group, you called it Meta Certified. You're Meta Certified?
So I am in the Meta Creators group. So what that is, it's really cool. I'm really fortunate. Apparently there's only 1% of people on Instagram that have over 100,000 followers. Wow. So what happens is they take,
I thought it'd be higher than that.
That's what I thought too.
1%,
I really thought
yeah,
just 1%. So it's really cool to be hand selected based off of your engagement, your authentic followers, if you've ever bought anything, you know what I mean, like followers or anything like that, likes. And if you have it and you're in the green, Meta, they hand pick a few of the creators, not a few, like hundreds. And then they actually pair us with a Meta coach. Shout out to mine. Hi, Emily. They pair us with a Meta coach and they really like kind of develop us and help us and train us and show us, hey, you're doing great, but if you do this, you can do a lot better, So it's really cool to be able to be a part of that. And now I'm taking all of the, the sessions and everything. So when I travel, I can do that and build that audience from over there and take it home with me.
So they're actually training you to better improve your profile. I thought it was more so where you're teaching people how to, or is that Zendercorp?
That is Zendercorp. That's actually my business. So with Zendercorp, I have noticed that what I've been trying to do, I've always wanted to be the plug, just if you need something, I've always wanted to be the person like, I don't know how to do it, but I got you with my friend who does, So what I realized
I know what guy.
Yeah, I know what guy, like if you need a photographer, hold up, I got 6. Which state you need it in, you know what I mean? So I've always wanted to be that connector, especially because when I was, just starting out, no one really kind of guided me except for a handful of people. So now with Zendercorp, it's a content creator community where what I do is I actually teach people who are already seasoned and people who are just starting out. I show them basically the way Meta is taking care of me, I'm taking care of them, you know? I am teaching them, like I do one-on-one coaching. I just started doing group sessions. I also, the main thing where this started out was content houses.
Yeah.
I host content houses for major creators and I host content houses for micro and just starting out creators.
Can you describe what micro houses are?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what those
Absolutely. Yeah, they're brand new. So I'm one of the first.
are. Or content houses.
No, but
The
so
1%,
basically-
the
yeah,
1%.
the 1%.
Yeah, there you go.
So basically what happens is in these content houses, what I do is I notice from the ones that I've been invited to. So basically how normally it goes is somebody, let's say you two rent out a big ass nice place, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And say, hey, it costs $2,000. Let's each split it, I don't know, let's say 6 of us, 6 ways.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Then
get
we
it.
go to the house and just create content. That's really it, you know?
Oh, that's
So, and
interesting.
it's happening more and more frequently, which is awesome. However, I notice there's a lot of things that are missing that could make the experience so much easier.
Yeah.
Not even better, because every content house, like hanging out with this friend and then another friend, it's very different experience. You know what I mean?
And it's between a whole bunch of, is it people that know each other, or is it
No,
just like
sometimes they don't know each other. We just meet
Oh.
on the internet, and then sometimes, you know, like example, like if I've seen you on social and I see that you guys collab together,
Yeah.
and I see that you're doing a lot of collabs, I'll hit you up like, hey, I love your content. Let's do a skit together or something. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. So what my company does is we actually,
And they're literally houses.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
We're
go on
doing-
Airbnb, probably VRBO,
Yep,
try to find the
Vrbo, all that.
biggest, most lavish,
Mhm.
luxurious house.
absolutely,
And then, boom.
I'm
damn.
making it an experience.
I didn't
So,
realize
yeah.
that's what people did.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. A lot of people aren't doing it the way I'm doing it right now. So that's why I'm trying to make it into something like, hey, instead of just coming, hanging out, doing content, let me provide you an experience. You don't have to lift a finger. You're going to learn a lot, you know, again, from the meta stuff that I've been taught.
Yeah.
But you're also going to get, you know, a customized list of, you know, trends and reels and everything that I've accumulated. And again, meta approved. So you can grow your audience and not just hang out with a buddy and make some content.
And you're not just doing that in one city, you're doing that all over.
All over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, my next one is in May. I'm doing that in Tampa. Then I'm going out to San Antonio. Then I'm doing Houston. I'm doing a lot. I'm planning one for Puerto Rico, and I'm doing, you know, I want to do some overseas, which is why it leads me back to travel. So once I start building my audience out there, it'll be easier for me to say, hey, I'm going to be in Italy. Anyone in Italy want to come to a content house or, you know, when I'm having one, I already have that audience there.
Or you could also provide packages through Zendercorp saying, hey, if you want to film in Italy, and so let's say you live in America, this price point gets you 2 days here. This price point gets you a week there. I don't know how long you're renting them out
normally
for.
they're like 3 days, you know,
Yeah, 3
because
days.
we have lives and everyone has, you know, busy schedules.
And this covers your flight. I mean, of course, the flight's probably integrated into the cost.
Yeah.
But
Well,
at the same
sometimes because
time-
of that, I've learned in a gray area, I will take care of you from the minute you land in front of the house. Like whatever you get there, just get there. From the time you're there to the time it's checkout, I will take care of you. But from leaving checkout and before, that's all you. You know what I mean? So it just makes it easier. So I'm just taking care of you guys while you're there.
Frenchie, let's rewind a little bit back because
Yeah.
I mean you've got an impressive resume. You've done a
you.
lot, and you're
Thank
still
you.
doing a lot,
I
and I'm
am.
really
I'm
excited to see
tired.
what you're gonna do.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to the cafe yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yes.
oh yeah, but just starting off, let's just say kick it off right from high school.
Mhm.
What was your background going through high school, and how did you get to this point?
Absolutely. So I will keep it kind of short.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was actually in between New York. I'm from Long Island, Valley Stream. I'm a Valley girl. I don't know if you can tell or not.
I could tell.
So I was predominantly raised between Valley Stream and Dominican Republic. I'm from Santiago. I went to school there and, you know, came back and forth. So it was really cool, culture shock for that. But I've always been in the entertainment. I am like a theater kid, you know, just with a phone, you know?
Yeah.
So now from there, I've always been big in music, and my family actually is big in the music industry as well. So it's just something that I've always done. I've always shadowed people. I've done like, you know, again, background music and stuff, but social media was always my passion. When it came out in 2012, I remember my first post. I remember everything. Then from there, I just started kind of understanding the algorithm. You know, this was an algorithm before an algorithm. I realized the patterns. Okay. So then from there, no matter what I did, I lived so many lives. I bartended in the hottest nightclubs in all of New York. But I was still posting about it.
Yeah.
You know, I for 5 minutes, I thought I wanted to be a chef. And so I started posting about it. You know, no matter what, I've always started posting about it. And I realized, you know what, people are interested in what I'm posting.
Absolutely.
And I did have those people in my ear like, oh my God, get a real job, get a real job. Like, it's just this again, this is before influencers were a thing, you know. I had this group, something called a group share. I'm sure back then you saw, you know, like shout out for shout out type thing. Like I ran one of the biggest group shares on the internet. And then from there, I just realized like as time went on, this is something that I can make a living off of if I do it the right way. And again, this is before people were monetizing. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? Let me start seeing if I've known a lot of music artists, you know, let me see if somebody wants me to promote their song for like $50. And I did. And it just started ripple effect. And then I just kept doing everything around content, and now content is my life.
Yeah, well, you were like a pioneer of the social media influencer before it became a thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You saw it before anybody else did.
I did.
When you were charging just $50 for what was it, posts?
Yeah, just for like a post.
How many followers did you have back then?
At this point, like I really started monetizing at 70K. You know, I had 70K, but I was doing share for share, so it wasn't only myself. I was.
So when you say share for share, it's kind of like a follow for follow.
Yeah,
or like for
that.
like. Yeah.
So basically, what happens is we had a bunch of. I had a bunch of females on the internet, made it a kind of like a safe space and community, and from there, you know, let's say your name is Sarah. Sarah would post me on her page for like an hour, and then I would post, you know, Sarah, vice versa. And then Sarah's follower would be like, holy shit, like, who is this? I never seen this person, follow. And then vice versa. Sarah's on my page, and my follower's like, oh, hello, Sarah. You know? So now imagine this, but with 1,000 girls. Oh. This is what I built. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question because gaining followers is not too difficult. Retaining followers is the hard part,
Absolutely.
right? Because they may follow you based on one content that you share, but then they'll unfollow you based on another piece of content that you share.
Absolutely.
How do you, I guess, have that audience retention where you don't lose these followers? And if you do, like, are you losing more than you're gaining? You're probably gaining more than you're losing, of course. But like, how many do you lose on an average day? And then how many do you gain on an average day?
You know, I'm gonna actually be very transparent with you. If you want me to be honest,
it's on the professional dashboard, right?
Yeah, it's on my dashboard. Yeah. However, before the whole dashboard came out, I was still calculating all of this. Like I look at it
Excel
like
sheet?
No, on a blackboard.
Oh shit.
For me, that's. This may sound crazy, but I believe in a simulation, and if you can control your own simulation, you know? So for me, what I did was I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put it on paper, big, and see what's working and what's not working. And from there, that's a system that I created. Like, hey, okay, so I list everything, like all 15 platforms, all, you know, the follow counts, and I started testing. If I post X amount of times, how many followers did I lose or how many did I gain? And when you start...
Because if you overpost, you'll lose a lot of followers because they're going to see you on your...
I don't know because, I mean, I see the same stuff. And the thing is that if somebody's coming up consistently, that means that you're watching their content.
Absolutely.
If you're not watching their content, then they're never going to come.
I noticed when I posted like 3 reels a day, you know, you would gain some, but you lose some as well. And then when it was just posting once a day, it'd be okay.
Well, you know what it is.
But remember, it's a different kind of it's not a podcast. You know, they're following you. They want to know Frenchie.
Absolutely. So what I will say to that is just to kind of finish this off. Okay, so as of the last 30 days, are you ready? On one of my Instagram accounts, I'm currently at 677, 471. So overall, the growth, I gained 13,249 followers. All right. Overall. So that's just overall.
Yeah.
Now, in the 30 days, I gained 30,204 followers. But unfollows within the 30 days are 16,955 followers.
But the net is still higher.
But so overall, it's 13,249. Wow. Now, for me, how I look at that is I don't care. You know why? Because at the end of the day, and I think this is the mentality that people seem to forget. People keep posting because they want to search and run and find someone to like their stuff. You know what I mean? Once I realized that I'm not posting for you, I'm posting for me. And then if you like my stuff, then follow me. If I'm not for you, then I'm not for you. I'm not going to go cry about it. If I sat here and cried about the 13,000 people that unfollowed me, then I wouldn't have motivation or, anything to continue going, So
Well, essentially, the only thing that matters is net growth.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So like
So if less people unfollow you than follow you, then that is positive either way. Can't worry about the people that unfollow you.
Absolutely.
And I guess what I'm trying to figure out, because we're just starting off, right? We've only been doing it for a year, 9 months.
That's amazing.
And is when we boost a reel, we tend to gain followers. And then when we boost another reel on a separate topic, we'll lose followers.
Yeah.
Because we're so, I wouldn't say all over the board, because we're somewhat but I mean, we've had athletes, we've had lawyers, we've had business people, we've had social influencers, we've had boxers. I mean, so we're kind of there, but man, it's so difficult.
I understand. My advice to you for that is, again, keep posting what you love and don't. Okay, so I've only in the nicest way possible heard, I don't say negative things, but not the best things about boosting your post. I've never boosted or never ran an ad. The reason why it's not necessarily bad. Like I said, if your account is on, like, there's creator account and there's business account. There's different penalties for each one. So if you use run an ad on a creator account, what does that tell you? What does that tell the algorithm? I'm going to boost them if they pay me.
So we're on a business account.
So then you're fine. Don't stress out like, hey, who's liking and who's not. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the people that are staying, they're actually the ones that are engaging and sharing and liking, opposed to people that are just following to follow and then unfollow. Stop looking at that. You're gonna stress yourself out, and it's not gonna be fun anymore.
Yeah.
So that's just my
recording
advice.
the podcast is fun.
Absolutely.
Growing the following, that's the part that's not fun.
According to
Well,
Meta,
Frenchie's having a good time doing
Yeah,
this. I saw your content. I'm like, she's having a blast on all
Thank
that.
you. You know what it is? I'm posting 3 times a day on 15 accounts. So yeah, I have no choice. And they're all different types of content too. Because I realize, and maybe that's something that you guys can do
like
too.
45.
Yeah. So now think about it. And when I realized I have 100 million views on my content overall. Okay. Now the reason why is because I realized if I there's so much internet out there, no matter what. There's somebody out there for everything. So what I'm going to do is, and if maybe you can do this for your podcast or something, different clips, different angles, but different accounts as well. Right now, I have my main page is just kind of just my highest one where I just put a little bit of everything.
And then you have
but
your
if
link
you look
tree
at it,
also.
if you look at it, a lot of them are collabed to different pages. Now, the reason being is because I have different content on there. So there's one I have just reviews. You know what I mean? That's for my more professional, family friendly, because a lot of the restaurants that I went to, and it's like, hey, can I review your food? They're like, ooh, boobs, internet, this is family. You know what I mean? This is a family restaurant. We can't. So now it's more clean for there.
You have one for travel also.
I have one for travel. I have one for my Zendercorp. I have one just doing like the weirdest, cringiest shit, and it's doing really well. And every time I post on it, I'm like, who have I become? Like, but it's so funny because there's so much internet out there.
There is.
No matter what you place and replace yourself, someone will never see that video that someone just did. So like, let's say you guys made again, I always tell people make multiple accounts. Okay. So now what happens
even from the start?
From the start. Right now, as of last week, I was, again, from my meta class, they're saying right now they are boosting smaller accounts that are consistent. I was just talking to a girl about this. Smaller accounts that are consistent. And I tell people this all the time.
What's consistent in their eyes?
10 times a month minimum is
well, that's not bad.
That's nothing. That's literally
reasonable.
nothing.
A lot of people could do that.
That's anyone can do that.
So if you're posting 5 times a week, not including weekends, I mean, you're talking about 20 times.
In the next 4 months, 5 months, you're going to see, if you stay at that schedule, you're going to see such a crazy growth. It's going to be scary. You know what I mean? Because it's just like like the gym, you know, you don't see it, and you're like, I started going to the gym and I lost 20 pounds, but I'm just like, I don't see it.
Congrats to you.
Thank you.
I'm trying to, but
congratulate
I'm
me.
drinking a lot of beer.
No, no, you look great, but don't congratulate me because my ass, I gained 80 pounds from all the fun and travel and everything.
But that's
and
tough.
I lost 20, you know, so when I'm back to where I was when I started, then you can congratulate me.
but that's tough though. I mean, when you're traveling and everything, it's hard to find a place. Yeah, I gotta hit a gym. You know, it's and it's tough, and you're having such a good time. But when we get back, we'll continue with PrincessFrenxh.
Yay!
We're loving it. Dude, you're full of energy, and it's fantastic.
I'm on a 4 right now.
And she's a Valley girl, so I'm good to go. We'll be right back. Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. All right, guys, and we're back with Happy Hour Holidays here with PrincessFrenxh.
Hi.
She is killing it for us over here, and we got the resume. Hey,
Do you know why he calls me the resume?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, why do you call the resume?
Because I tried to get as many accolades as I possibly could. You know, I'm a 30 under 30 Tampa Bay Business Journal.
Wow.
I'm a Tampa Type 100. I am an FAA pilot. I'm an author. I'm a chief marketing officer, and I'm a podcast guest host.
That is amazing.
I'm just a guy.
I love that for you. Seriously.
So how did you get the name PrincessFrenxh?
Okay, so I actually love sharing this.
But you go by Frenchie, though.
Yes, so my friends
I love the
call
name
me
Frenchie.
Frenchie.
That's a good
I like
Thank you.
Frenchie.
Thank you so much. So if you're like cool like this, you can call me Frenchie. But if you're like a fan or like a follower, call me Princess. You know? Like I set my standards everywhere I go, you know? So basically, long story short, I was, before my current relationship now, for those who are, everyone knows, Instagram, you're my first love, okay? You're my full-time relationship. However, before my current relationship now, I was actually in an abusive relationship. I went by Negra because I was bartending. Sorry.
Like Modelo Negra?
I guess, Modelo. But it was 8 A's. It was obnoxious. Like, if the first A was taken, second, third, fourth, so I had to fucking put 8 A's back there, okay?
Oh, shit.
But, like, the kind of bartender I was doing splits on the bar. I was pouring shots in people's mouth. I was in gymnastics. So I was like, you know, doing fucking the craziest shit. I'm in a back bed and like pouring shots.
And this is all in New York City, too.
This is all in New York City.
Wow.
You know, so who did I think I was? I thought I was in Coyote Ugly or something. Okay. So now,
Good
long
movie,
story short, it is one of my favorites. That's why I became a bartender.
Yeah.
So, I ended up, long story short, in a situation where I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore, you know? And if I'm being transparent, I actually have a son, and I keep him off the internet. Nobody even knows he exists, you know? Also, people think I'm 28. I've turned 28 so far 5 times. Okay? So
that means she's only 32.
I know, right? So now, at that point, that was a situation, like, I was with my ex again, and I said, like, I don't want to be a bartender. I want to be more dainty. You know, everyone knows me as, like, oh, yeah, negra, like the hot girl. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't want to be that. You know, I want to be more dainty. I want to be more feminine. I want to be more lovey-dovey. Yeah. And my ex at the time, he said to me, who the fuck do you think you are? Get off your high horse. You're never going to be a fucking princess. At the time I was 24. You're a grown-ass woman. You know, you're not a little girl. It's never going to happen. And when you're around people like that, who say that to you consistently all the time, just negative.
You start believing it.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, he's like, oh, this Instagram thing is just a fad. Just get off of it. Like, this person, I was on live, took my phone, smashed my phone because I wasn't paying attention to enough, and I was too much in my head.
Do you want to call him out?
No, I can't. I normally would, but
we're being on camera.
You know, I'm still in court.
You know who you are.
Yeah, I'm still in court right now, so I can't.
You know why.
So,
Oh yeah, like what happened to Vegas?
But you know why.
You know why. Oh my god, no one's ever got that reference either. Oh my god, you guys are so cool. Anyways, to finish this story. So fast forward, I'm in a new relationship, and now we're dating for like 3 months, and I tell him, like, he asked me my ambitions and goals. And I'm like, you know, one day I wanted to be a princess. That's really it. And he's Italian, okay? It's Greek and Italian.
Italiano!
Yeah, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, and he didn't say anything. He just went quiet. I'm like, I just told this white man that I want to be a fucking princess. Who do I think I am? What is going on? And stupid idea, whatever. So now he didn't say nothing. 2-3 days later, he comes back with a box of teddy bear and flowers. And then he goes, you wanted to be a princess? Open the box. It's a real
Tiara.
Tiara.
Yeah.
A real what is it? Swarovski
Yeah.
tiara.
Oh,
And
shit.
he's like, we're getting rid of Negra. Let's call you Princess something. Princess this, Princess that. And then he's like, what about Princess French? And I'm like, you know what? I like it.
Because of Haiti, right?
Yeah. Well, no, French because my actual name is Francesca. But,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but I don't refer to that unless I'm in trouble, you know?
Francesca,
Exactly. So now, everyone would call me French or hey French, hey Frenchie. And so he actually created Princess French. And then from there, that was officially 6 years ago. And not only he was my then partner now, but he's my fiance now.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
And he's also my operations manager for my businesses.
Yeah.
So, he saw the dream, he put that into me, and now he's helping me make it into the empire it is.
So he supports you.
Yeah. That is one thing I will say.
Because if you're in a relationship that is demonstrative,
Mhm.
what you'll find is, and like you said, when someone's telling you something negative over and over and over, you start to believe it.
Absolutely.
It's not until you separate yourself that you start realizing that person's wrong and what you believe can actually come true.
Absolutely. And one thing I tell my students all the time, and they're sitting here like, I want to do this, but I'm so scared. I want to take anything. Doesn't even matter content. I want to take, teaching or being a pilot. I want to take all that seriously, but I can't because everyone around me is saying I can't.
Yeah.
So basically what I tell people, leave your hometown and you'll be successful. Watch how fast you become successful. I don't necessarily mean get up and move to a new state or something like that. Just leave your hometown, meaning separate from the people that you're closest with or most comfortable with, because they're the ones that have a big impact. And then when you're by yourself or around the like-minded individuals that are in the same realm as whatever it is you want to do, you literally have no choice but to become that entity that you want. And that's what I did.
And let's say that you don't have the financial means to leave your hometown. What you could do is fire your friends.
Absolutely.
Fire your friends.
Yeah.
But I like that, honestly, Frenchie. You think about that a lot where you're just like, hey, I was born and raised in this.
Because we were born and raised in Tampa.
And I'm like,
I love it here. I would've lived for 3
but
years.
also, I always think about
we have fired friends.
Yeah. But a lot of times I
Literally,
think it, like
figuratively.
you said, is, would it be nice just to start fresh
Mm-hmm.
in a new city?
Yeah.
And I always think about that. And I always, if it sounds nice and I want to do it, but
yeah,
it's tough,
but you know what? And like I said, it's hard. And even for you, let's say, like I said, doesn't always mean just get up and move. You know what I mean? Like it just means the people, home is where you're comfortable, right? Nothing grows in the fucking comfort zone.
Mm-mm.
So when I say leave home, like you just said, fire your friends. I didn't talk to my family members for a good 4 or 5 years because all they thought I was doing was, oh, you're just whoring online. You're just, dressing half naked. You're just this, that, and the third. Like you're a disgrace. You're whatever. Well, I make $40,000 a month now, and I just helped pay their houses and got them cars and all this stuff. But now I'm not an internet whore anymore. I'm successful.
Oh, now all of a sudden.
How has the narrative
It
changed?
took me cutting them off for me to not keep getting feeling bad. Like, oh, what if I post this and my dad sees, example, the other day, my dad's going to call me. And again, I'm 28, so he's like, with his Haitian accent, oh, why they called me and tell me that you naked on the internet? I'm like, Dad, I don't know what you're talking about. This the family. I'm like, what's your cash app? I'll send you $700. Okay, you good.
Dude.
Literally,
I know.
okay.
No, but you're absolutely right. When me and my brother were leaving our engineering positions, my dad's like, "You guys are idiots. You guys are leaving steady jobs." But what we talked about 2 podcasts ago, the guy goes, "Why am I asking my parents? Are they millionaires?"
If they
That's
have
what I'm
never
saying.
achieved what you're trying to
achieve-
succeed,
yeah.
they won't realize it. And
Absolutely not.
Eric Thomas is the one who said it best. He's like, your friends may not get it, your family may not get it,
Nope.
your parents may not get it, but it's not their choice, it's yours. You need to be the one to break the generational curse to achieve what they have never achieved. And what my brother says all the time is alter the family tree.
Absolutely.
That's really what
You
it
got to be the
absolutely.
one. And guess what,
Yes.
Frenchie? You're the one
Oh,
in
yeah,
your
hell yeah,
family
I am.
tree.
And Les
Hell
Brown
yeah,
says
yeah.
that.
Absolutely.
And do you know who Les Brown is?
No, I
A
don't.
motivational speaker. He
I love
goes,
that.
always
What is that I
believe
heard?
I'm the one.
Yeah, I love
Why
that.
can it not be me?
Absolutely.
Why can it not be me? And a
Absolutely.
lot of people, they are so worried about what other people think.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, what other people think is none of your concern because at the end, they are not paying your bills.
Absolutely.
Fuck them.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I was
that's
gonna,
exactly how
and
I
I was
feel.
gonna ask you
Yeah.
that too, Frenchie, and you answered my question. I was gonna say, hey, how did it feel if when you posted stuff at the beginning and you're like, oh, people don't like the negative
I never
comments,
cared.
and you're like, I don't give a fuck.
I never
because
did.
I'm doing this for
you
me.
said you did.
Well, no.
With your abusive relationship.
Yes, at that point, So, but like, I mean, followers and all that stuff, I never
Yeah.
cared what anyone thought, you know.
Or if anybody
because-
commented like,
No, I never
like,
cared.
how do you deal with that?
You know what it is? Like, it's a lot.
Like
I
the
will say
negative
that.
comments. Like
So-
you know what I
because
do?
it's all haters, dude. It's
Yeah,
all a
I'm
bunch of
gonna
haters.
explain.
Do you
That's
know what
like-
I do when I have
I
negative
wanna know.
comments?
What do you do?
I talk shit back to them.
You know, in the nicest way possible, that works, but kill them with kindness. You know what I mean? Especially now being in the Meta group, I can't do certain things now because again, Meta has their eyes on my page. You know, so now
I don't use curse words.
Oh no, not even that. Like for me, what I do normally in the nicest way possible, I just kind of just be nice. I know, and it's the craziest thing.
I like that
you know,
too.
because I've had someone sit here and go back and forth like, oh, you look so fat. Oh my God, thank you. I love that you I love that, you know, I love that you think I'm PHAT, you know. They're like, no, I mean like a cow. Oh my God, I love cows. Oh my, you know, so I'm going on. And then it was going on for like literally like 13, 15, 25 threads. And then at the end, he's like, you know what? You're just freakishly positive and like it's not fun anymore. So bye.
There's
you know?
trolls.
Literally.
There's
and I'm like,
trolls
wait a
out
minute.
there.
You know what happens with the engagement? Anytime you get hate comments, then you get more people viewing it. And then Instagram gives me a check.
Because you have more
So,
engagement on your
yes,
content. So
you
even
know?
negative comments aren't bad
They
comments.
pay my bills.
But honestly,
You know?
everybody likes to see somebody who's being positive towards
Absolutely.
the negative instead of being like,
Absolutely.
yo, fuck
Yeah,
you
fuck
or
you too.
whatever.
Yeah, no.
Well, no,
No.
that's not what I do. That's not what I do.
No.
I'm just like,
No.
oh, great comment. You're an idiot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's fair. You know, so now there's
I mean, I'm not cursing.
No, you're not. And that's fair.
Yeah.
But, you know, back to kind of what you were saying, you know, about being the generational, because it was on my mind and it's something I teach my students. Before I was in social media, like full time, but after the bartending, I actually went into sales. And it was the best
I'm sure you were
experience.
freaking
Oh my
awesome
God.
at that.
I
Like a
was
realtor?
number one. No, I did telesales.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was number one in the country. Okay. They would fly me out. I got to the point where they flew me out to teach people Frenchie's pitch, which is the winner's pitch. There was 22,000 employees, like, you know, in the company.
Yeah.
I was number one on multiple occasions. I got a whole award and everything
What
for
was the
it.
pitch?
So basically,
What was Frenchie's pitch?
I know. I want to
you know, so we had to bring
Buy
everything
this
back
or
to the
I mean-
no, literally, like, so basically, I'm sure you've seen. I've done all types of campaigns. I've done business to business, door to door, street campaigns, literally everything.
B2C.
But yeah, everything. So now, basically, what happened was, it's just making people. Treating people how you want to be treated. That's literally it. And people are sitting here like, oh my God, it's so hard. How can he not do sales? So if you're seeing someone with like a 5 energy, why the fuck would you go over there and yell at them like with a 10 energy? What's wrong with you?
Mirror.
Literally, you have to mirror the person.
That's NLP.
And that's it. And just, that's it. You know? So now from there, I started using those tactics to social media. And that's what really took me off. So now one thing that really stuck to me, and which was, I will say, the pivotal moment for my success was something called the rule of 6. Okay. Now the rule of 6, and again, like I said, even though it's sales, I teach it to my social media students. It works. The 6 people you surround yourself with will determine your life in the next 6 months to a year. So example, I was doing bartending. I was in sales. I didn't want to do it anymore, and then I knew the social media was my passion. But I don't know anybody in social media. How the fuck am I going to do this if I don't know what I'm doing? So I
Find
started
people in social media.
mass DMing, and I remember I already had like the group shares and stuff. I asked them, do they want to link up? And also I was doing content houses before it even was a thing, you know, like
Yeah.
back in 2015 and shit.
How many messages would you send before? Like, what was
Honestly,
your success
I
rate?
would send about like the pipeline. I would send about 50 DMs just to
And
regular
how many
girlies.
would you?
I would hear back about 1 a day.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's not
For
bad.
the most part, you know,
Yeah.
but again, like, you know, so now it was just difficult because I'm someone that, like how we're talking, you ask me, I'm going to answer. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, nowadays it's like people see your, and I surround myself with certain people, so I see that they see the messages, they just choose not to answer because they don't want to, you know.
They don't want to.
So
Do you follow up with those kind of people that do not respond?
Now they have to get on my calendar. You know, it's so funny.
No. Back then.
Back then, no. Well, yes and no. At that time, I'm like, you know, there's so many people on the internet.
I know.
Yeah, just go on to the next one.
So basically, what I did, long story short, I ended up finding, you know, creators that are in the area and befriending them and learning from them.
How did you find people in Tampa? Because I mean, shit.
Instagram.
When I go on Instagram, like, are you searching? Oh, okay.
Hashtag. There's another. It's hashtag. If you put hashtag anywhere, like you can find anything. Yeah. Like, you know, Tampa creators, Tampa girlies, and so that's when I started reaching out and finding stuff. So, anyways, long story short, what I decided to do is I started reaching out to creators. I ended up befriending creators, and then a friend of mine, now, like we met last year. It's so funny, 2 years now. So we met, and she actually has a lot more followers than me. And she DM'd me. She's like, I've never seen you on my timeline, and now you're just all over my timeline. Are you real? I'm like, yeah. The AI shit.
Damn,
and so I have an AI clone, by the way.
Oh, you know?
Yeah. So now I'm like, yeah, I'm real. What kind of fucking question is that? You know? Like, but then I wasn't thinking about the AI stuff at the time, you know?
That's still like, I would say that's like 2024.
Yeah, that's like the last 6 months.
I mean, what's really been happening is a lot of people are creating fake individuals, and you have AI based, but they also
they're making money though.
They are.
And they're making a lot of money.
It's crazy. Which is why I joined the bandwagon, because I like money too. So I'm gonna tell you guys about that too. So anyways, I reached out to this girl. You know, she reached out to me. And then she's like, give me your phone number. I'm going to FaceTime you right now. I'm like, okay, she has a lot of followers. So, and she's pretty.
How many?
So, okay, she has, on this one page, she has like 10 pages like me, 900K. Okay. And I was only at 200K when she hit me up last year.
So you said, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah. So I said, sure, you're pretty and you want my phone number? What? You know, like I'm a little gay. So now she FaceTime me, literally 2 seconds. You're real and you're pretty. Do you want to hang out? I'm like, okay. So from there, she's like, I'm going to a content house. And that was the first time I ever saw, like, you know, with major creators and all that stuff. Because at this point, like I said, I only had like 200K, but I wasn't doing the content houses and all that stuff, you know? So now she introduced me to the bigger girls, you know, like the ones that are 1 million and like all that stuff. And we just clicked, you know? So now from there, at this point, I'm noticing that the one thing that they have in common, because at this point I was doing UGC content or brand collab content, but that's really it, you know? The one common denominator in all of these creators, there was about like 6 of them there, was that they all have paywall sites. And then when I say paywall, meaning like OnlyFans, Patreons, anything where you have to pay for content. And I'm sitting here like, you know, just sitting and having the conversation, and it just made sense. Like I didn't think about it until you surround yourself with those kind of people. We're sitting here posting and doing the makeup, doing the hair, getting the costumes, getting the outfits. Why the fuck are we doing it for free? If you know, like again, like it's a job, and that's really put it in my head. Like holy fuck. It's a job.
You know, a lot
and
of those,
the internet.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking about like
So
you always say, it's the internet.
Absolutely.
A lot of those websites, to get a bad reputation, but at the end of the day, they are paywall sites. That's what they are. It doesn't mean everybody on those sites
are doing what
naked.
you think. Yeah, no,
exactly.
absolutely. And that's like I said, I've only been monetizing like fully like this for 2 years, literally just 2 years, when I made a paywall from connecting myself with the 6 people from the rule of fucking 6. So now I made a paywall. I was terrified because again, the stigma, not even from the comments, but from family and stuff. Even though I separated myself, I'm now 200K. I'm not getting money for brands. I'm not doing this. If I make like an OnlyFans or if I make like a Patreon or something, what are they going to think? Then I snapped out of it after I saw their fucking paychecks. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to make a paywall too, you know? So I made a paywall. The first month I made $7,000, literally.
Damn, bro.
That was the first time I've ever seen that much. Because like the brand deals I was doing, it was enough. Like, you know, like.
It was here and there, like what, like 5K or something?
Yeah, like it was, I had to do like 20 brand deals to do 5K, you know? But I didn't know at the time.
And in a month, you make 7K on the paywall. What I'm saying.
So in a month, I didn't even say OnlyFans. I just put the link. And I said, I finally made one. I made 7K in my first month. Okay. And then now, Fast forward, I'm averaging between 20 and 40K just from that one paywall. I'm on 12 paywall platforms now. But how would I have known that if I did not hang out with the fucking 6 people? The rule of 6. The 6 people you hang out with are the 6, it's going to determine your life in 6 months to a year. All these girls are taking
So you're like on
seriously.
Fansly also?
No, I'm not. I haven't got.
Is Fansly that? I mean, Fansly is pretty much the next one.
Yeah.
I mean, Patreon too, but
yeah, I'm working on it. You know, but it is a lot. Like I said, again, I'm posting on the 15 platforms 3 times a day.
But you got your
that.
man that is
He's my
operations manager.
Yeah. So what he does is he does the overseeing.
You gotta crack that whip.
Yeah. So really, what he does is he like I said, he oversees like if there's a brand deal or he helps me with the scheduling. Like, hey, like. To leave with the podcast. Okay, well, after the podcast, you have to go and do this content and this, then like right now, I'm about to pair with an AI company. So he's taking that meeting for me while I'm doing the podcast.
Okay.
So it kind of keeps a balance, and he also is a director for an insurance company online. So he's doing his business and helping me with mine. So it's a lot.
You also mentioned that you were looking for a video editor, photo editor. I think it was photo editor. I mean,
both.
So aren't you looking for maybe somebody administrative to also hire on your team?
You should have an admin.
Yes.
I am. I have a personal assistant.
But she or he is not an admin.
Yeah,
she's not an admin.
No, she just does literally just walks around with me, does my films, my content, helps me. She started helping me edit. But like at the end of the day, I realized the thing is like, it's a little bit strategic, especially like you can hire someone, but you know what you want your content to look like. So at the end of the day, whether I get an editor to kind of, help, I'm still going to probably go in and change it and, really put it to my audience. So it sucks.
Jimmy, get over here. This is not what I fucking want.
Exactly. That's what I mean. But I'm so nice and condescending about it. Like, Jimmy, we talked about this. What side do I not like of my face? Point to it. Okay.
You know what I've found though is a lot of people, they struggle with delegation. And even though it may not be edited to your exact specifications, and I don't know because I'm not a social media influencer, but if it's like 10% wrong, is it really going to affect the quality of the post?
Yes and no. So basically, like I said, on every platform, I have made a character, So let's say that 10 seconds or whatever that
10%.
10%. I'm sorry.
Of the editing that doesn't look right.
That doesn't and it doesn't sit well. It won't perform properly the way it's supposed to because I've analyzed that algorithm for that page. And if it doesn't go what it's supposed to, then it's going to mess it up. And guess what's going to happen? I don't want to say I wasted a post because I always repost it eventually.
And you can also delete it.
Yeah, and I never delete it. Once it's out, it's out. Somebody screenshot it and saved it. So don't even. Even in videos I fucking hate. I literally just posted this video that I hated the other day, but because I needed something to post for the time slot. And I'm like, this video is so fucking stupid. I hate it. It was not ready. I needed something to post. And it's sitting at 17K right now, views. And I'm sitting here like, I still hate it. But you know what? If I deleted it, that would have been 17K that I would have never hit. That helps my impression. That's 17,000 people that clicked the link in my bio and went to go buy something.
Does that hurt your algorithm?
What?
If you delete it?
It doesn't. No, like the way I say it, like I said, in the realm I'm in, there are a lot of people
does Meta take a look at it and say, oh, well, they posted it an hour ago and then deleted it?
They don't do that. But what I'm saying is like, in my lane, I call and like on my main page, it's associated with the hottie girls. Like I said, like the OF girls and all that stuff. But what I learned is there are so many fake pages of myself, even things that I've put up and I've deleted. A fake page has it. Literally 5 minutes. A fake page already screen recorded it.
Because they got notifications already. Boom, let's go.
So if you don't fucking put it out and delete it, somebody already has it and they're going to take your content. And then you know what I mean? Like, at least be the original. You know what I mean?
Fan pages,
it's crazy. They? No, it's a fan page when you talk to them and then they associate with you and put your tags. I do have a few fan pages though out there too.
You see how it pissed her off? The New York came out of her.
I heard that. So mad.
Not the kind of New York. I mean, it's Long Island. Long Island is different.
Don't you dare.
It ain't one of the 5 boroughs. It ain't one of the 5 boroughs though.
Hey guys, when we get back, we'll continue with PrincessFrenxh. We're having an awesome time.
I'm having a great time. Thanks. I'm excited to be invited, guys.
Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be right back. Happy hour holidays to Casamigo motherfucking shots. We doing good over
We're
here.
drinking water out here.
Yeah, now we're drinking water.
So we were just saying that Frenchie's basically a professor of social media because, I mean, not to knock anybody else that's been on the show, but I'm just saying the strategies, the information, the education is something we've really haven't heard.
Yeah,
too
I
much.
can say without a shadow of a doubt, once again, not to knock anybody on the
Yeah.
show, but
No.
there has not been any individuals on this show that have had the kind of informational insight to what it takes to become a social media influencer in the manner that you have. So that's awesome, man.
That means so much to me.
And-
Seriously.
And so we're speaking a little bit about it outside.
Mhm.
And I think we touched on it during the episode about breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yes, absolutely.
And who are they going to push if it's scheduled out through a third-party platform?
Mm-hmm.
And you had amazing advice on that. Can you please
Yes,
provide the audience
absolutely. So basically,
For $100,000.
right.
We're going to break it right here. Click the link.
Click the link. Here's the pop-up.
Absolutely. Click here. So basically, long story short, what I was just saying was, again, this is according to the Meta directly, Meta coach and all that stuff. Basically, what they said was, if you're going to utilize the tools that Meta and Instagram or whatever app provides you, that will put you ahead. But you also have to continue to do the legwork, So example, we were talking about scheduling posts. Yes. So you will get a boost if you use, let's say, the post scheduling feature. However, think about it. Like I was explaining, if an account has let's say 100 followers, and another account has 10K followers, and you both schedule it for 3 p.m., who do you think they're going to prioritize?
10K.
Why?
Because they have more followers, larger audience, which allows for them to actually get their information out.
Absolutely. So the best way to kind of go around this, and I don't want to say beat the system because it's not about beating any system. It's more so the way to get an advantage on this is by simply using the tool. So still use the scheduling. However, let's say you schedule it for tomorrow at 12 o'clock at 11:50. Still, like I said, still schedule it. But tomorrow at 11:59, you go in manually and you press that button.
And you publish it.
Yeah, and you publish it. So what that does, it gives it a boost on the algorithm because the algorithm is seeing that you're trying new things and testing out the tools that it has. However, it's going to boost it because you're still going in yourself and posting as well.
So it kind of sounds like what the social media platforms want and are looking for in terms of the algorithm is individuals that are actively engaged in posting manually.
Yes. Yes, they are. But still utilizing whatever tools they have. Like I know they have this new thing called trials. If you're using trials, those videos are going crazy viral right now. I don't know, some people have it, some people don't, but the trials feature.
I've never heard of that. What
is
that?
So it's a new thing that they rolled out. It's just basically what happens is they're pushing out that content to non-followers to see if they like the content you're pushing out.
You can do that?
Yeah, so it's new. Like I said, some people have it, some people don't. So you just got to go into your, if you're on a creator setting.
Facebook, Instagram, or Meta?
Instagram and Meta is doing it too. Yeah. Like Facebook as well. So, but I've only used it on Instagram. For me personally, hasn't really done much. However, I will say I am blessed to have a consistent engagement. So when I've used trials, it reached, I don't want to say like, the last one I did, it reached, 60K people. But when I use regular, it's hit 60K people. So it doesn't really do anything for me. But right now, what Meta is doing is creating a lot of opportunities for smaller accounts. So you may, when you go into it and look into it, you can see you probably have it.
Is that something that's only offered to large accounts, though?
No. So like I said,
and is that through the professional dashboard, or?
Yeah. So you got to go to the professional dashboard, or even when you're about to make a post, but before you do that, go to the professional dashboard. Make sure you, when you click on it, it tells you like, hey, what tools you have or access to. You have to turn it off and on. So you just go in and turn on your trials. And then if you actually like it enough, you're able to post it as like a main reel on your feed. So what happens is for the trials, it'll show up for you. But if you look, let's say if you post a trial, you look on his page, if you're already following him, you won't really see that because again, it's not for you. It's for non-followers or trying to get you to follow you.
And then if you also couple that with being verified
Mhm.
as a business,
Oh, absolutely.
does that make it show up? Because one of the selling points when I paid for the business
Yeah.
verification was you'll now show up on feeds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, does it help?
Let me tell you that. I want to just kind of break that stigma here.
Remember, I
too.
only have 1,450
That's
followers.
don't say only. Don't
That
say
is
only.
That is
because
only.
there's someone that has 200 followers. Don't people keep sitting here and getting lost in these numbers, and it kind of throws me off because at the end of the day, you have to sit and think. No matter if you had 100 followers, 200 followers, 1,000,000 followers, you have to think that you have 100 million eyes on you at all times. That's how you're going to become successful in it. You do it as, again, manifestation. I'm big on that too. You do it as if you're already in the position and it's just going to fall into place within time. That's really it. So it doesn't really matter. And that's a stigma that I kind of do want to air out and say too. There's a whole side of social media that bashes people that bought their, badge or whatever. At the end of the day, no, you do not bash anybody because this just shows credibility. Okay. And that's my biggest thing for those who bought the badge or got it, regularly. The whole point is for people to know that you are the origin, you are the originator, you are the entity. So if you buy it or happen to get it, without buying it, does not matter. Secure your business, secure your spot, and don't care what anybody has to say about it. You got the blue check, whether it be working hard or whether it be paying for it, you still got it. You had to go through all of these steps to make sure that everyone knows that you are legit, okay? And again, Instagram doesn't just give out the blue badges either. They still do their back end deep diving and stuff too. Yeah.
Actually, that makes sense because I applied for it literally like maybe 4 or 5 times. And the badge, they kept saying, oh, well, you're not notable. And they wanted like 4 or 5 articles.
Absolutely.
And I provided 4 or 5 articles or websites. And they still said, oh, yeah, sorry, you can't.
Yeah,
and then it wasn't until 2 months ago where I received a notification. We received a notification to the Happy Hour Holidays account where it says, now you are able to purchase a business verified account and you will receive a blue check. And then they gave me 3 different options on what I should
to do what or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I went for the middle one. I went for the middle one.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
And then what I like that Frenchie said elegantly is that it's like when you meet your significant other on the first date, the algorithm will change.
Absolutely.
So it's not going to be
dating
the
the
same.
algorithm, guys. That's something
dating the
that
algorithm is a big one.
You gotta explain that
because
because that was all fair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm coming out with, and I'm coming out with I guess a program. I don't want to say courses because I'm not really I'm really just walking you through it, opposed to just teaching you. I'm trying to help you understand. So I'm coming out with something called Dating the Algorithm.
The professor.
Yes.
The professor.
Frenchie's the professor now.
I know. It's so funny. I was telling them I wanted to be a teacher for the longest time. Then I saw how much they get paid and I said, no. So this is my way of teaching something that I'm passionate about. But one thing I learned is, and I said it earlier, Instagram, you're my number one relationship. You're the most consistent partner in my life, And I joke around about it, but I'm so serious. Because I realize with anything, the way the algorithm work and the way I understand it, I look at it as if it's a significant other, and that's why I'm so successful as I am, because I don't look at it just like an app. I look at it as my partner, because at the end of the day,
business partner.
Yeah, not even romantic partner. Okay.
Oh shit.
So now the reason why, because my business partner, I'm not gonna fucking text you and see if you ate breakfast this morning. That's not my problem. We're making money together. I don't care if you ate or not. But as my romantic partner, of course I'm gonna text you, baby, mi amor, come hoy. Did you eat today or no? Same thing with the algorithm.
Blue.
Exactly. I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is I post. You know why? Because breakfast. My partner needs to eat breakfast. And what is that going to do? The algorithm, oh, you're flirting with me. You're taking care of me. What is it going to do? It's going to start pushing you to more people. And now just like dating, when you're dating somebody, and you're pursuing them or courting them, what do? Everything,
there you go.
You're commenting, you're engaging, you're giving them compliments, you're giving them attention, just like a significant other. So what are you doing? What's the difference between you dating someone new or dating social media? Nothing. You're dating the algorithm. If you want to be successful on social media, the biggest thing you have to do is not look at it like an app, look at it like a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Now I'm gonna give you one more example before we switch the topic. So example, you sit here and you tell me that you post on average how many, once a day?
Like once
a week, Sean?
lucky.
Once a week.
It's been
Now
it's been twice a week.
Twice a week.
Twice a
Horrible, but I'm gonna explain. Okay. So let me ask you a question, okay? And I
Only
know-
because I thought posting because we
No.
were posting 3 times a day, and
You said you were losing followers and stuff.
I was seeing more engagement at
Yes.
3 times a day.
Yes, you
but
were.
I was also seeing a lot of follower loss.
Stop looking at that. Don't look at that. That's not important. We don't care who likes you or not, okay?
But followers, man.
I don't give a no. I'm gonna explain to you why. Oh my god, I get so passionate about this. Just like being passionante de este. Okay. So now, basically, example, and I'm gonna ask you a question and be honest, okay? And again, I know you both are married, so that's not like pretend the wives are not in the picture, or pretend we're just dating them. Now, you have 2 women here, okay? Now, one of the women that you're talking to, you're talking to both of them, take you on a date on both of them, had a great time. One of them texts you, "Good morning, Papi," and "Good afternoon, Papi," and "Good night, Papi," right? The other one texts you on Monday, "Good morning, Papi," and then texts you on Friday, "Good morning, Papi." Which one are you gonna? And the other one, like I said, is texting you every day, 3 times a day.
I'm going for the 3 times a day.
Why?
I'm going for the one that ain't up my ass, dog, honestly.
No, it is not even bothering you, but still coming, making sure you're
No,
okay.
she's
Because
proven a point.
because the
She's
one
proven a point.
Well, I know, but the one that's texting me
Let's
3
not turn
times.
it into
No, I know, but the one that's texting me 3 times a day, I'm
She's
like,
got a point.
yo, you messing up my Monday and Tuesday, dog.
No, but like the whole point is with the
right,
dating
yeah,
the algorithm,
yeah.
you're gonna the same thing.
The girl that's into you is the one that you're gonna date.
Exactly.
Maybe marry.
Depending on how she looks.
Exactly.
Depending on how she looks.
That's right. Which
That's
goes
it.
into the
I didn't want to
aesthetically
bring that
pleasant.
up, but yeah.
Where it goes
depending on
into
how
the
she looks.
aesthetically pleasant on social
Yeah.
media too. How you look is important as well, So now same exact thing on the social media. You post in the morning, you have an audience there. You post in the afternoon, the people that didn't see in the morning, they see it in the afternoon. You post in the night, the people that see it from the morning and the afternoon, they're seeing it at night. You're giving yourself more opportunity to be seen when you're posting on a consistent schedule.
And the problem is if you post 3 in a row within 30 minutes of each other, the same thing goes back to the relationship is, well, are you going to want to be with that person?
Exactly.
No.
It's
Because,
too
like,
naggy.
hey,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you were saying,
Yeah.
it's too much. You know what I mean? So that's why to solve that issue, and again, like I said, people are so like stuck on like the numbers and the views and all that stuff. They're forgetting to have fun with it. Okay. I have 15
What do
pages.
you mean by have fun with
Have
it?
fun. Example. I have 15 different social media pages. Okay. Not one of them.
Posting 3 times a day,
Posting 3
45
times a day.
posts
Yes.
every single day.
Yes. Not one of them are the same. You have one where I'm talking to you like, hey, what's going on? Whatever, like this is what's
Got
up.
motivation, morning
Exactly,
motivation.
Yes. And then I have another one for the people that don't give a fuck about motivation. I have one in a bikini. Do you want breakfast? So of course, those two are never gonna clash each other. But I'm talking to the motivational money
So
people.
there are 45 different posts?
They're different posts. Now, a lot of the things that people are afraid to do, and I notice this is the biggest question.
Wait, bro. So what you're saying is that you have to have, for at least your account,
For me, yes.
45 different posts posted, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you have to create that content, which I'm assuming is created, prior to when you're posting it.
Yeah. So basically what I do.
So then you have a content library.
I do. I told you in the beginning, I have 49,500 photos. That's what I first said when I got in here.
Yeah.
So the thing is, okay, what people don't
Makes
seem
it
to understand,
difficult.
not really. Because, and here's the thing, and this is also one of the biggest things that people in the meta groups are always talking about. Like, oh, repurpose. I'm afraid to repurpose content. If I woke up, if I got dressed, put on my hair, put on my makeup, put on my clothes, and I made this video, you think I'm going to post it one time?
No.
Oh, hell no.
Probably posted quite a few times.
Now, exactly.
Across platforms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of keep posting this one video, next week, whatever, that's what's really saving my time. Because, I hate this feature, I'm not going to lie to you, when it automatically saves into your phone, like when you post it.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes, like at first, I looked at it as like, oh, this is taking up space. But then instead, what I looked at it is because social media and anything is a mentality. Instead of saying, oh my God, it's taking up space. And now I look at it as awesome. This can be a post for tomorrow for the 10th page that I'm posting on. You get what I'm saying? Like, repurpose your content.
So controversial here. Do you shoot shit like 3 months prior to ever posting it?
No one ever knows where I am because of how often I'm posting. I'm repurposing.
But I don't mean just you. I just mean in general.
In general.
Would it make sense
for
let's attribute it to a podcast episode. Let's say we filmed a podcast episode
today.
A year ago.
Yeah, a year ago. Okay.
A year ago. And everybody forgot about that podcast episode.
Post it again.
Post one of the shorts as a breakfast. And then, instead of...
You can use that same short on the 5th page that you have as a dinner. Does not matter. You know why? Because the people from the first page, they may be following that 5th page that you have, but what it's going to do right now, social media is focusing on the non-followers. So on the 5th page, if you already don't have that, that's a new fucking post there. So now the people that are seeing it, they've never seen this post before. Opposed from seeing it on the first page,
and then maybe,
where they've seen it 3 times. You posted this 3 times last week.
So then that means that actually all content that's ever been produced that you have currently in your library, you can use irregardless of
the time.
Of the time or the month or the date or the year.
I love social media because there's
idea.
no concept of time on social media. So this video I just posted, all right? So
because people don't know when it was shot.
Nobody
they don't know when it was filmed.
And then
you know when it was.
But then you're gonna have I have a lot of loyal audience who's been with me since I was negra. So they know, you know what I mean? Like they know, but instead of that, like when you sit here,
una blanca ahora.
Right? So now they know, but instead because they kind of see the pattern, like every 3 months I'll repost this one. They'll sit here and say,
you repost content?
I repost it. Yeah, all the time. I'm about to show you right now. I repost it, and then all of my old fans that know me from 2012, they'll sit here and say, oh, this is my favorite. You know what I mean? Because again...
Oh, and it actually shows loyalty within your following.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then with that, let me ask you a question. What's your favorite movie? You and then you.
What's my favorite movie?
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame.
Avengers Endgame.
Happy Gilmore.
Oh my God, it's a great movie. Okay, let me ask you. Have you only seen Avengers Endgame and Happy Gilmore one time?
No.
How many times have you seen it?
Too many to count.
That's how many times you should be posting that same content. Okay? Now, example. This right here, hold on a second. I'm going to show you one post that I posted.
That's your camera right there.
Give me a second. And now this point, which one?
That one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have it pinned here.
But you're going to show us first, right?
Yeah, I'm going to show you. So this video
here. Do you have the privacy screen on there?
I do. I got it in Thailand. Okay. So this video here, right? I don't know. I'm going to see if you guys can see that. Okay. So now, this video here. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
I posted this 7 times before it went viral.
7
times.
video.
The 7th time this video went viral. But tell me this transition is
TikTok,
not clean though. This is Instagram. Tell me that's not a clean transition.
That beat is hot. Now, that also goes to, are you using trending audio on the 7th time?
No.
Or are you using the same audio every single time you post
Well, this one only goes with this sound because I was lipping this one. Yeah. So, but I posted this 7 times on this page, on my main page, before it went viral. Okay, so example
over a period of how long?
Okay, so the first time I made this video,
was the first time
I'm gonna tell you right now.
2029?
No, the first time I posted this was I moved down here 3 years ago, or 25 to 4. 2023, I made this video.
You've only been here for 3 years?
Only 3 years.
Damn. And so then you posted that 7 times?
I posted 7 times, okay? Within 3
years.
I posted this 7 times on my main page, not even counting as new posts on my other pages, okay? 7 times on my main page. And the 7th time, that was 6 months ago, this video went viral. Okay?
Was the difference that you had more followers,
No.
which means they were able to share?
That too. That could have been it. But the thing is, again, I took the fucking time to do my hair and my makeup. This transition was sick. Okay?
Yeah, it was
and
sick.
now to the point, and I will say it sucks, but they no longer took the original sound. Now it's my original sound. It's like I'm reposting it so many times. And the time before last, okay? And that's another thing that I recommend doing too. When you making a sound, if you're gonna repost it, and like I said, like this one,
make it an original
make an original sound and then use that sound as well. So the time before this, it went viral. You see, this one says 3.1 million views. The last time I posted it, 91.8K. And that's a big jump from 31.
Huge
but the time before that, 78K. The time before that, I couldn't even fucking break 10K on this video. But I'm like, I worked, but this little, 9 seconds?
And you don't delete it.
No, absolutely not. This little 9 fucking second video took me 2 hours to make. So absolutely, you're going to see it 30 more times. You know? You know what I'm saying? Like, so people sit here and like, oh, I just post one time and I don't want people to see it again. Repost your old videos because people haven't seen them yet. And you'll see in these comments, there's a mixture of new people like, holy shit, this transition's crazy. Yeah. And old people, this is my favorite transition you ever did. That's my advice. Repurpose old content. I'm telling you, if you find it funny, just because, again, the algorithm didn't push it because you're not giving them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When you start giving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you start, giving them something nice for dinner or leftovers for dinner, you're going to notice, oh, we had leftovers last week. We had meatloaf last week, but something about this meatloaf today tastes real good. What did you add in here? Cilantro? Let me tell more people about this. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It always brings back to dating the algorithm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really all it is. I'm sorry. Like I said, I can talk about this for hours. Dude, but yeah. Oh, wait, pause. I posted this video. I made this in 2022. I posted this yesterday. And now, in 2022, when I just posted it.
You took it away.
Oh, sorry. Okay, hold on. This is a transition video of me just changing into my work outfit, So now I posted this video.
That's the same person?
That's me.
That's her.
Dude. I'm a catfish.
Dude, how the fuck is that?
But okay, just by the way, I make myself
doesn't even look like the same person.
I know, because I fucking gained 83 pounds. I told you. This is 83 pounds ago. That's why.
No, I'm talking about the first lady that came out.
Well, yeah. So, okay. So that's another side note secret.
It's called makeup.
Yeah. No, I didn't have any makeup. That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. So we kind of make ourselves look extra
the facial features don't even look the same.
Yeah. We kind of make it because well, if you look closely, you can tell it's me. But with my wig, I look different than when I have my actual hair out. So, and then of course I had no makeup. And of course, what I did was I put extra, a lot of the transition girls, we make ourselves look extra, I don't say ugly because we're all beautiful.
Anime.
Not even, we make ourselves look extra oh my God. You know what I mean? Holy shit, that's you? So when we transition, it can be more dramatic, and then of course that's the shock value that goes viral. So again, with me, I just woke up, I rubbed my old eyeliner, and then now I put my regular makeup on, but I put my actual hair, So it's the small things that you can do to kind of shock value. You know what I mean? That really does work.
Well, Frenchie, you have blown my mind in 20 minutes.
Thanks.
That was 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
I'm so sorry. I'm taking all your time.
I'm sorry.
Next time I come here, we'll talk about my cafe.
No. We got one more segment.
Yeah, we got
do we?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited.
Guys, thank you for watching Happy Hour Holidays. We're having a motherfucking blast.
I'm having a great time.
But be careful because it'll get you.
That's where I'm at right now.
Frenchie's dropping knowledge.
I am. I'm dropping too much knowledge. But it's the White Claws and did you give me the shot?
Casamigos. Reposado. Repo.
That changed my life.
We got to wrap this segment up real quick.
Yeah, luckily it's not a far drive for any of us. We'll be right back. All right, guys, and we're back to Happy Hour Holidays with PrincessFrenxh.
Hi.
She is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to actually the social media aspect and the algorithms and the analysis.
Yeah.
So So, Frenchie, what do you like to do on your spare time for fun?
If I'm being 100% honest, on my spare time, I like to sleep. Because I'm doing so much at all times, whether it be coaching people or just making content or editing content. I am tired, you know? So realistically, I just like to just chill. I actually like a really good book by the pool, and I read. I'm currently reading 48 Laws of Power. Okay. So I'm excited about that.
So you're more on the nonfiction side of reading.
Yeah, on the more of the nonfiction. I kind of like where I am now in my life. I like to read. Oh, sorry. I like to read things. I completely forgot. When I said, I like to focus on things that are going to bring value, because another thing I learned in sales that I take with me to social: value versus cost. Is this going to add value to your progression in your day, or is it going to cost you a day of your progression? So I kind of like to look at things like that and just chill.
What's your favorite book?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, that was my favorite.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Me and your Frenchie, that was the first one that opened up my mind. Like, I was sitting there at the engineering firm, and I'm like, okay, I've heard about this book. Mm-hmm. And then I went to Increase Your Financial IQ. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it just kind of made me think outside the box, because when it comes to it, your parents are telling you, hey, you need to get a steady job.
Absolutely.
You have health benefits and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden you think about, wait a minute.
Which having health benefits isn't a bad thing.
But to have the steady job and not having freedom of time.
Absolutely
that's
retire when you're 65.
Yeah, exactly. How much time do you have after that? 5 years and then you're 70?
Right? Like, honestly, absolutely not. Unacceptable. So when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I'm not going to lie to you, I picked it up for the wrong reasons. I thought it was like a lover story because I was so confused. Like Moulin Rouge
so
or something.
It's gay?
Yeah, I was so confused.
Rich dad
wait a minute. What? And then I read the first page, I had two dads. Oh, he's gay. But then as I got into it, it actually really opened my mind. Like, wow, just two different perspectives of financials, and I can relate similarly because my dad actually, when growing up, he worked with a company that he made a lot of money from. However, he was very cheap. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with
nothing wrong with that.
Frugal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So example, to put into context, my dad worked for a company where he was a business partner for ice cream. So the company he worked for, they made the mix that makes ice cream. No, it was called Billy's Horseman Mix. So basically what happens is the actual cream and all that stuff, that was the factory that my dad worked in. He did all of the deliveries and all that stuff, and his business partner did all the formulas. So basically what happens, how you can look it into context, every time someone bought ice cream from Mr. Softy or any of the ice cream trucks or any of the Tasty Delights, the stores, my dad would make 3 cents from any person that made, bought ice cream. Oh,
shit.
So, but my dad was also the person that
Valley Girl, Long Island.
Yeah, Long Island, baby. But if you gave it, you went to a store and something was 99 cents and he gave you $1, he'll be looking at you crazy if you don't give him his penny back. That was my dad. So it was very it was crazy because again, he had the money. So it was very, you get hand-me-down stuff and save your money, save. But then there was my mom. My mom was a flight attendant and we traveled a lot. That's why I appreciate my mom because I'm very well traveled.
Was she also from Hispaniola?
Yeah, my mom is Dominican. So now with her, it was very different. It was more so, you never know when you're going to have money, so spend it now. Get it, whatever you need now. So now you have dad being fucking, give me my penny because I need to save that. And then mom, give me 2 of those because if you go out of stock, I want to be able to have it, So it was very difficult for me growing up.
It's confusing.
Yeah, it's very confusing. I didn't know if I was poor or not. I genuinely did not know. I'm why am I in fucking Juicy Couture outfits? And Betsy Johnson handbags, but I'm going to public school. I'm so confused, So now when I read this Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and everyone's raging about having the two financial balances.
Yeah.
It resonated with me more because I'm like, I already lived this, like I already understand that. But the educational aspect of like how they saved and what they did was something that I was not taught. And my fiance and I actually got together and started, putting a savings and stuff together. So that's where I am now.
What's your second favorite book then?
My second favorite book, I want to say, this may sound a little bit like very random.
It could be fiction or nonfiction.
Oh no, my second favorite book ever is The Count of Monte Cristo, the original.
The Count
of Monte Cristo.
What is that about?
So, and there was a movie on it with Jim Caviezel. Great movie. You guys should watch it if you haven't watched it. If you haven't read it, you should read it. So basically, it's a story of a man who he is like not financially set. He comes from a poor family, but he has this love of his life, And
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, basically something like that. However, he has a best friend whose best friend is like rich and all that stuff. Long story short,
The Great Gatsby.
Yeah, something like that. So there you go. It's like a little bit of both. So what happens is the best friend sets him up because this kid, he didn't come from a good education. He couldn't read, he couldn't write, nothing. So his best friend gives him like a letter to go travel with or whatever. And then long story short, he gives it to the person, but he couldn't read what was on it. So the best friend conspired against him to get him sent to jail just so he can take his bitch. Right?
What?
So yeah, it's crazy. So now he thought that he was just locked away, whatever. And then basically in the movie and in the story, it's just a story of how this person, he taught himself to read in prison. He escaped from the prison and he became the biggest name in all of Europe, the Count of Monte Cristo.
Shawshank Redemption.
Basically, that's a good one too. So now it was basically throughout the whole movie and the book as well. Is basically small things that he did that changed his life and made him he was nothing before. He could not read, could not write, but now fast forward and all the pain that he endured, everything he went through, he's now the Count of Monte Cristo, which is where they live, Monte Cristo. He's the most important person there. And like it was the steps of what he did and how he did it, who he met, and so on and so forth. Movie, you said?
No, is there a movie?
Yeah, The Count of Monte Cristo. That's what it's called.
But there's a movie of the book?
Yeah. It's I'm telling you,
it's called Count
of Monte Cristo.
No
but the
shit.
book, of course, gets more in depth and like everything. But I'm telling you right now, if you guys want a good watch, you need to watch that movie. It was really good.
It's so crazy because it's so hard to find good stuff to watch now because a lot of the stuff that comes out, you're like,
it's the same thing as this movie. You know what I mean? Like, no, but this one was really good. And my favorite.
It come out a year ago?
No. Did they make a remake? What the hell
20,
is that?
2024.
No. But Jim Caviezel. It's a really good.
2002?
I think so. I was young.
Is that it?
Yes. The Count of Monte Cristo. This should be it. Yes. Oh my God. Great movie. I'm telling you. And it's like my favorite part.
It's on Disney Plus.
Oh, I didn't know that. But my favorite part of the whole movie actually was this guy. Basically, what happens is that he had to change who he was. You know what I mean? Like, I'm no longer that poor hobo, dyslexic, illiterate kid. I am a fucking count. You're gonna give me the credit that I deserve. So he basically faked his own death, right? And so to become the count. And I loved it because it's like you're killing that past person that everyone said couldn't do it, and you're making a whole new person.
That's
and now it's amazing. It's amazing. Finds out that she has a son. Now the question is it for the count or is it for the best friend? It's a whole thing. But the one thing that got me going was like, no matter what, no matter how much you change, you have tells. You know what I mean? Like you have things that you will always do. So example, the girl, the love interest, she meets with him and she feels like this is the love of her life from like 10 years ago. And long story short, she sits here and she's like, you remind me of him. He's like, he's dead. I don't know who that guy is. Like, ma'am, like I don't know you.
Spoiler alerts right now.
Spoiler alert. And she goes, basically the whole movie, he would twirl his hair, right? Like in the back. And she would tell him at the whole beginning of the movie, she's like, you're going to go bald doing that. You know what I mean? Like, stop twirling your fucking hair, bro. So now he becomes a count. He hasn't seen her in like 16 years because he was in jail. And he comes out and now she finally gets to meet the count, and now he's twirling his hair, whatever, doing the same thing. And she hides in his carriage because it's horse and carriage time, hides in his carriage. I know it's you. And he's like, your friend is dead. Whatever. He said his full name is dead.
Yeah.
She's like, I never told you his last name. So it's like, it's crazy. So it's just like, no matter what, small things that you do, the people that really fuck with you know it's you. You know what I mean? No matter how much you try to change, there's always things imprinted in you that you're always going to do for.
So I got to ask you then, I know that's a book that you're reading and you have completely summarized
Sorry,
that.
guys, I love that movie.
That movie.
And book.
But what is your favorite movie then?
You really want to know my favorite movie? I have a bunch in different categories, okay?
Okay, then let's
I'll go through
do
the categories.
trauma suspense.
For trauma suspense, Final Destinations. The whole
Hey, did that not fuck up your childhood?
I will not drive behind a vehicle that has fucking logs. I will not. No one can tell me. Or also, I no longer drive with my water bottles in my in my cup holder, because remember how it fell and then she couldn't press the brake? I no longer. All of my, even when I'm drinking water or whatever, I throw it in the back seat. Nothing is gonna get me into behind a log.
I feel like that was horror though.
Yeah, and apparently they're making a new one.
Yes, they are.
What was it? I didn't find it scary. I find it more suspenseful.
I found it that, and then it was like kind of horrific the way they died.
Yeah, it's more gory.
I mean, like shit. Do you remember the one where she's getting LASIK eye surgery?
Oh my god!
Burns her eye through.
Oh my god! Yes, I remember that.
Oh my god!
Trauma.
Not to mention the guy that was going through the drive-through to get fast food. And then I have.
You gotta watch it. Just watch it.
I watched all the Final Destinations, and I can tell you, man, that just like mind fuck.
It really did. And they're making a new one. They made a new one or making a new one.
They're calling it 6, but there's been more than 6.
Like a prequel or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. So one of them, but yeah. So that's that one. How
about just like a regular movie that's not
overall that I can put on?
Yeah, that's not gonna put blood in. Yeah, comedy.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Believe it or not. I love Adam Sandler. That's when he said Happy Gilmore. I love Adam Sandler. What is it? The Water Boy. You want me to kill them? Remember that poster? That's my favorite thing. I love Water Boy. I love anything with Jim Carrey as well.
You ever watch Yes Man?
Yes, I have watched it.
Let me tell you something. Movie. Yes Man is the epitome of how people should act.
Absolutely.
To a certain regard, because you can't say yes to everything, but saying yes to a lot of things actually leads to experiences that you wouldn't normally experience.
Absolutely. Like I was telling you in the beginning, me going to Thailand. You know what I mean? Like I literally did. I just met this
said
girl.
yes, and then she was like, "I booked my ticket.
I booked your ticket. You doing this or not?" You know? And I'm like, "Okay." And I ended up in fucking Thailand. I was terrified. Didn't know anything about. I didn't even know where Thailand was on the map. You know?
Oh, and bullshit.
So, it was there on the map somewhere. But, I went there and I said yes. And it was the best experience of my life. And because of it, I'm now going to Europe. I'm going to DR. I'm going to Italy.
You're going with her?
Yeah. No, I'm going with by myself and with my fiance and my assistant.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, yeah, definitely yes, man. It really made a lot of sense. Just say yes.
Have you been to Cuba?
Funny story. I've always wanted to go to Cuba because of Dirty Dancing Havana Nights.
Havana Nights.
I've never seen that movie.
Dirty Dancing?
No. Yes. But not Havana Nights.
It wasn't good. You're not missing anything. But the fact that they actually filmed it in Cuba and the culture from that movie, and again, movies or whatever.
Like the 80s movies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It came out in I think early 2000. The original came out in the 80s.
80, yeah.
But the
Patrick Swayze.
But rest in peace, Patrick. But the way that they really actually filmed in Cuba, I didn't know how beautiful Cuba was until that movie. Because you hear in school like, oh, it's
it's like Miami,
this
isn't
and that. That's what I hear too. But it was different. It was just like I don't know how to explain it, but
except like based in 1950s.
Yeah, but
and nothing has upgraded.
I'm sure. I don't know anything about Cuba like that, but I do know that the border was open for a little bit that we were able to go.
Obama,
I know friends went. A bunch of my friends went, and all of a sudden they're saying we can't
Beyonce
go to.
Went.
That's what I'm saying. We can't go to Cuba anymore. I don't know what happened, but we can't go there anymore apparently. So
I mean, you can swim there. It only takes 99 miles.
That is fair.
Most people try to swim the opposite direction, though.
I will say I have met a lot of Cubans here in Tampa.
Oh yeah,
which is crazy to me. Are we close to Cuba? Cubans?
Yeah, we're not far.
Okay, because I've met more Cubans than Floridians here. Like, I never met this many Cubans in my life.
Because they go to Miami and they go, damn, it's really hot. Let's go up a little bit more.
You know, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I love the culture. You know, I love the sandwiches, the Cubano. I love it.
Well, which one? The Tampa Cuban? Or the Cuban sandwich?
I don't know. I just know the Tampa
Cuban. Because the Tampa Cuban has
I don't even know
salami.
the difference.
It has salami. It has salami, man. Tampa Cuban is the best Cuban. Because I've been to Miami. And I can tell you, those Cuban sandwiches down there, Alex Delgado, he didn't really like Tampa Cubans.
If I could eat for a living, I would do it.
Yeah.
I could eat for I mean, you could.
Listen, you literally could. Anything that you say your mind, that you want to put your mind to, there is someone on the internet that will buy it.
But still be skinny?
Ozempic?
That'll be like good. Look like a zombie.
Right? That's fair. That's fair. You know, I gotta have a work-life balance, a work-food balance.
Yeah, work-food balance. Yeah. So, no, that was actually a really good question. So, what do you do outside of reading also?
Outside of reading, I write music. I'm currently in the studio working on my EP.
Yeah, you're doing R&B and alternative rock,
yeah, so
correct?
I'm doing, now.
You haven't talked about Cafe de Lulu.
No, I haven't. Okay, there's so much that I'm doing. Guys,
let's talk about Cafe de Lulu.
I'm tired.
I'm tired. I like to sleep on my spare
I know,
time.
like on my days off, just want to sleep. Give me good books I can put on audibles and just sleep. Audible, yeah. What is it? Yeah, Audible? Is that how you say
it's
it?
Audible.
Audible.
I have a book out on Audible.
Do you?
Yes, I do. You can purchase it for the low price of, I think I'm only charging $14.99.
That's amazing. It's
a science fiction space opera.
Oh, I've never heard those words all together in one sentence.
Me neither.
And I already have the second and third book written. It just hasn't been released.
Are you the one reading it on Audible?
No.
No, you think I want to hear his voice for 15 hours?
That's fair. You know what?
Damn.
No, because you know what it is? Because it's so funny because a bunch of fans of mine are asking me to read like stories. That's one of the niches that is so weird.
Like what? But romantic novels and shit?
Not even. Like, so basically, again, there's no kink shaming here. Everyone, whatever you're into, I love that for you.
ASMR.
But I have, not even that. I have a clientele on the internet like that literally just wants me to read them stories. Doesn't matter if it's news articles, doesn't matter if it's a baby book, an adult book. They just want me to read to them. You know, it's not strange when they're charging you, when they're paying $500 for 15 minutes of reading.
That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. Well,
but you know, everyone, you never know, because some people didn't have them reading to them growing up. Or some people, you know, let's say their parents read to them and they don't have their parents read to them anymore. So somebody's still reading to them. Yeah. I will take that task, you know, as long as you pay me. Yeah. Yes.
What's the weirdest thing you read?
Read? Oh my god! Because I think
I was gonna say what the weirdest thing she's done.
Because you know what? There's one thing that takes the fucking cake. Okay, which one do you want to know? The red.
No, I want to know the weirdest
thing I've done. Okay.
No, well,
from the fans because
from the fans. Okay, so. I'm not gonna give any names, but you know what fan you are. Okay, but so sorry. Hold on.
It was an iPhone ringtone.
So, long story short, what this fan asked me to do, it's called giantess content. Okay, what? Giantess meaning what they did was they bought. Again, anything that you want me to do customized, you're gonna pay for it. If it's not too crazy, I'll do it.
But we're getting away from that.
Yeah, for the most part,
Eventually,
you know. Yeah. But for now, it's paying the bill, so I'm not gonna say no, you know. But long story short, what they did was they had bought the miniature. You remember those glass bottles that had the ships in it?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You know, see how small.
The glass ships.
Yeah, so how small those pieces were.
Yeah.
So now basically they have miniature versions. Okay, like so basically it's this big of them. Okay. Like they buy the miniatures like this small.
Put it into a glass bottle.
No. There's no glass bottle. I'm just trying to give you the concept of the size.
I got you.
But they have the miniature or whatever, and they want me to put it on the floor, okay? And they want me to take my camera and put it behind the miniature. So basically it looks like the miniature's actual size. And then when you see me coming in the camera, I look like I am a giant. Literally a giant, like Godzilla giant, okay? So now your face is like, where is this going?
I know.
It's called giantess content. Okay. So basically, Now you have a miniature version of them. So when you put it like anything in the camera, it looks bigger when you put it there.
Yeah.
So now it looks like a regular sized person, but then now when you're looking up, it looks like I'm 20 feet tall. Okay, because of how small the thing is and the perception. So now they want me in a bikini. Okay, go in there as if I'm Godzilla and start kicking things down and scrunch all the way down and sit here and say, do you want me to crush you now, you
What the
peasant?
fuck?
And I literally stomp on them. So it looks like, again, when you look at a camera, it looks like a whole production of a big ass foot and like, just crushing a little person and like, like you're putting out a cigarette, And of course, in the camera, it looks like Godzilla's crushing me. And now it looks like you're being crushed by an Amazonian woman, who is like not even like, again, I'm normally 5'11", 3/4, 6'5" in heels. But at this point, I look like I'm 12 feet tall. So now it's a fetish that they like to be miniature and you're pretending that you're crushing them. And that goes for about like $1,000 for like, what, a 30-second video.
Yo, that is some weird ass shit.
There's no such thing as weird, People are into what they're into. No kink shaming here.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm shaming you. I mean, fuck, that's some weird ass shit.
And like I said, like, there's stuff that I refuse to do if I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, there are some people that have asked, like, I'm sure you guys heard of it, people like, selling their bath waters and like farting in a jar. And
see, I feel like that's a little bit easier. All you gotta do is close the jar.
That's true.
You don't even have to fart in it.
See, it's like I enjoy the
bath water. All you gotta do is go into the sink and be like, boom.
But
yeah, that's my bath
a lot
water.
of people don't tell you with that. A lot of these fans, they pay to watch the process. It's not even the actual water
products,
itself.
Right? They just
want to see like this person is taking the time out of their day to stop what they're doing, run a fucking bath, and sit in it for however long, and then and you're filming all of this. It's not, like I said, it's not even about the bath water. It's about the fact that we're prioritizing you and your needs, because whoever at home and with you is not, or like in your area is not doing it, whether it be a single or whatever, and you're comfortable enough to ask us to do it, and we're able to do it for you. That's why they're willing to pay as much as they're willing to pay for it.
Do you think that men could actually have a successful career in it as well?
Absolutely. I know a lot of men that are very successful in OF. It's crazy.
Is it because they're like this, or?
No, not even. Same thing. Believe it or not, same thing for girls. I will say a lot of the men that I know, I'm not going to name any names, that are successful, they are very vocal about being gay for pay. That's what it's called. Gay for pay, meaning for a paycheck, of course. I'm going to sit here. At the end of the day, let's just say...
How old are these people?
Honestly, they're all ages. So from the youngest I've seen that I've hung out... Was that me or you?
No, that's me.
Oh, sorry. The youngest that I've seen do something like that was, 25. And the oldest I've seen is in his 50s. Like, people will pay for it.
In their 50s?
In their 50s, But again, like I said, people fall in love with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say if I'm doing the bikini, I'm doing it at 50, 60. The people who are following me now doing it, they're going to be my loyal customers when I'm 50, 60, because I took the time to prioritize them. You know what I'm saying? So when I say gay for pay, meaning like, they're not, a lot of these guys are not gay, but you mean to tell me you're going to pay me $100 to take a picture in a Speedo? Okay. You know what I mean? Like.
So it's a guy asking for a picture.
Yeah. I'm not going to, and you know what?
But you're not doing any gay acts?
No. They're just, again.
Or maybe they are.
Well, again, like I said, like I don't go too deep into what other people are doing, because I have a lot of stuff I'm doing myself I focus on. But what I've seen, again, like I said, a lot of the straight guys that are doing well, they're 100%. Like I said, they have wives and best friend, girlfriends and shit, and they're the ones that's actually taking the content for them. But if someone sits here, not gonna lie to you, this is a open question, you gotta answer it or not. If someone sits here and says, "I'll pay you $1,000 for you to do like a pose with a teddy bear and you in a Speedo." That's it. For 5 pictures.
That doesn't sound gay to me. That doesn't sound gay.
But people think
you're
gay
sending it to another man?
Well, no, again, like you putting it on your wall, meaning you're just posting it on your paywall site, and whoever buys it, buys it. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So technically, is it really gay? You know
No,
what I mean?
it's not. It's not. It's
just
a picture.
Taking a picture and somebody buying it.
Now,
you don't see if it's a man or woman who buys it. That's not on you. You just took the picture.
Now, what if somebody says, "Hey, listen, I want to see another man penetrate you"?
That's on you.
That's gay for play.
That's gay for play.
That's
That
gay
could
for
be.
play.
I guess that technically is classified as
Because if all
classified
you do
as
is
gay.
taking a picture doing nothing, that ain't gay.
You know, but you can't help it who's buying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you really can't. Like, if you put it out there, and because I will say, a lot of people don't understand that girls are actually more sexually, like, prone than men. You guys are, well, not you guys, but I'm saying men are more just vocal about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're the ones that are buying the smut books, buying those, you know what I mean? Like, the 50 Shades of Grey stuff. Like, we don't vocalize it as much as you guys do, but believe it or not, people sitting here like, oh, all these girls are making so much money from the OFN because men are just the... Believe it or not, there's like the top 1%, like, because I'm in the top 1% of my paywall sites, are men, guys.
Really? Well,
Because
yeah, it makes sense.
Girls out here, if you guys are going to sit here and take the time to sit here and, you know, set it up for us nicely, fuck yeah, we're going to pay for it. You know what I mean? But, like, you guys don't do that.
No, we just kind of just like, oh my God, she's hot.
Exactly.
Subscribe.
Exactly. But it's a lot of
We're not like,
girls.
oh my God, he's hot.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Well, you know, believe it or not, yeah, because, you know, a lot of us, like I said, are in relationships and, like, have husbands and stuff. So we're more secretive about it. I don't want to say secretive, like, in a bad way, because, like, even for myself in my relationship, there are people that I've seen that are men that I find, you know, like, oh, wow, they look good. They're taking care of themselves. I'll sit here and I'll show my man, like, dude, babe, I like his beard. Do it like this. You know what I mean? Like, we're more like that opposed to, oh my, leaving 1,000 comments. Like, oh my God, let me see what your butt cheeks look like. You know what I mean? Like, the men will do that, you know? But
right.
The women, believe it or not, we're the ones that are paying more for the sex. We are.
Yeah.
We're the ones buying the lubes, buying the toys, buying the, you know, going to the sex shops and shit. You guys are not. You guys are just, again, more vocal. So we spend more money, believe it or not. Everyone's like, oh, again, like the stigma, OF is just that. There's more female subscribers than creators on there. What does that say?
Holy shit.
Isn't that crazy?
I thought it was the opposite.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. And like, again, like in the top 1%, it's a lot of men. But discretion. Us females will never sit here and let you know we subscribe to a man's OnlyFans. Because we will not caught as dead in that shit, you know?
We'll be right back.
So, Friendship, we like to, when we finish the show, we just like to have the final words like Jerry Springer.
I love it.
Hey!
Love it.
So what do you have to tell, like,
Shut
somebody...
the fuck up!
It's not mine.
That's Maury.
I'm a guy.
That's Maury, bro. That's Maury.
But what can you tell somebody who's trying to aspire to be a social media influencer
Final thoughts?
or a successful woman as yourself with so many hats that you're wearing, serial entrepreneur? What can you tell somebody who's trying to come up on the ranks and have freedom of time?
Yeah.
Any kind of advice.
Anything, whatever you like.
The same, just to kind of review the things that I said earlier, the rule of 6, surround yourself with people that are in the lane and division that you want to become in. Remove yourself from your hometown. Again, doesn't necessarily mean pick up and move, but your comfort zone, people that are comfortable with you, that know you, you got to cut them off if they're not supporting you. 3.
Amanda, you're gone.
3, make sure you're compartmentalizing, and that's the biggest thing. For me, my biggest thing was I'm doing so much and I don't have the time to really do it all, or I'm losing one and doing the other. Compartmentalize. Once you do something, like if you're focusing, like I said, like you have 3 hours to focus on creating content. Once that 3 hours is done, focus on the next task. Creating content is in the past right now. You know what I mean? So it takes away the burnout. It takes away the stress of everything you're doing, and it keeps it fun. And that's the last note that I have. Make sure you're having fun with everything you do, because if you're not having fun, it becomes a job, and who wants to work a job? Be serious, you know? So that's really what it is. If it feels like work, then remember why you're having fun and why you're doing it in the first place. And that is kind of like my final message. And last but not least, no matter what, you choose the life you live.
Yes.
If you're not happy with where you are in life, you literally can pick up today and say, I don't want to do this. I want to do XYZ. And all you have to do is apply it. What steps are you taking to choose the life you live, or live the life you chose? And that is it.
That's
and next time we'll talk about
fact.
Cafe de Lulu next time.
Oh, yeah, we didn't actually touch on it.
Frenchie, where can everybody see you? What are your handles on social media, your businesses, everything that you have to offer here? Because, people see the episode and they're like, how can I see Princess French?
Oh my God, you guys are so sweet. Stop.
I'm
I'm
a valley girl.
Valley girl.
Yeah.
So as of right now, I worked really hard. I have 100 million views on my content, like I mentioned.
That's awesome.
So now I am on Google. You can literally just Google me and everything comes up. So Princess French, regular P-R-I-N.
Well, no, there's an X in there.
Well, yeah, PRINCESS space FRENX, like X-ray, H.
It was hard to
funny.
find that.
You know why? Because I said X one time and I'm like, X like extra. I'm like, bitch, that starts with an E. So that's why it took me a pause for a second. But yeah, so now also my business is called Zendercorp. Z as in zebra, E-N as in Nancy, D-E-R-C-O-R-P. Zendercorp. I host content houses for major and small creators. I'm hosting editing parties and in-office events. I'm working on my EP, so that's Princess French Music. And literally everything else is just Princess French. You can find me there.
Yeah, and if you're looking, if you're a business, it could be anywhere from a doctor, attorney, whatever business that you have, and you're looking to utilize social media.
Yeah.
Princess French is going to give you the best advice, and she can also do, classes when it comes to real estate. Anybody who's
for your employees.
For your employees, anybody who's looking to sales. Sales is huge, marketing, whatever it is. Princess French will come to you, and she will do a course. And she will teach you exactly how to utilize social media to make more money.
Yes, thank you guys so much. I really had a good time.
And not only just in the Tampa Bay area, but you could do it throughout the entire world.
Well,
I literally travel. I am going global, guys. So again, like I said, like they were just saying, if you guys need help, a lot of people sit here and they judge like, oh, well, you're doing a bikini content. How can you teach? Well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what kind of content you post. The algorithm does not change. You put into it, it will put into you. So I teach you guys how to, again, use the algorithm to your advantage, no matter what lane you're in, because if you are consistent with anything, you're going to get the results that you want, and it will help you get those results.
And she has proven with those results.
Yes.
1.4 million followers.
Yes.
Over 100 million views
on my content,
on all her content,
all my platforms.
And she's just getting started. She only started this less than
I started taking this serious. No, 2012 is when I started.
Yeah.
But I started taking this seriously and monetizing like fully, where it's just like, hey, I'm gonna quit my 9 to 5 because this is all of the money that I need and then some. Only 3 years. That's it. 3 years. I did it. That's it. In 3 years total.
And if she could do it in 3 years, you could also do the same with her coaching.
Absolutely.
You need to check her out, and you need to reach out to her at an email address that you could provide.
So it is info@zendercorp.com.
How do we spell Zender?
A Z as in zebra, E as in elephant, N as in Nancy, D as in dog, E as in elephant, R as in Robert, Corp. C as in cat, O as in octopus, or R as in Robert, P as in Peter. .com. So info@zendercorp.com.
And then you got to check us out at Happy Hour Holidays. Hopefully you'll collab on one post with us.
Dude, I love, you know what? By the way, I didn't even mention this. This is a whole nother episode, but collabed posts are the best because it's so convenient, especially for someone that's so busy like myself. Whenever I do have burnout or anything, and then I see like, what am I going to post today? And someone collabed me. Oh, thank you, Jesus, because that can take up the spot. And they always perform well because, again, the algorithm and we've been married since 2012. So I'm excited for you guys to collab the posts with me.
We are excited as well. And
just just please beware, not even beware, just be ready for the comments, okay? Because my commenters, they're very interesting humans, okay? They're just very random. So just be excited for that. If someone's hitting on you, just be nice. Okay, like,
Wow,
Man,
I'm flattered.
I think what she's saying is people are gonna hit on you.
It wasn't you.
Yeah, I said you. Oh,
Frenchie, thank you so much for
Thank
being on Happy Hour
you.
Holidays. I mean, this has been one of the funnest podcasts that we've had. Over 100 episodes.
Yes,
and it was,
congratulations.
and it's been a blast. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come in to Fabre Framework Studios and having a Happy Hour holiday.
I'm so happy. Thank you guys so
that's
much
a
for
good
inviting
one.
me. Ciao. Muchas
Peace.
gracias. Bye.